Whether it's a festival, a birthday, or just surviving a pandemic, Malaysians love to celebrate with food. But studies show that we are a country both overindulging and undernourished. We suffer from high rates of cholesterol and heart disease, whilst our children have stunted growth, all because of the food we eat. So how do we fix our relationship with food? Can we find a way to eat that is actually affordable, enjoyable, and good for our bodies? First of all, this is not a fat diet episode. The privileged middle-income cycle of overeating, feeling guilty, and crash dieting is familiar to many of us. This is despite the fact that we probably know from our own experience that dieters will likely regain the weight we lose, and disordered eating, binging and restricting cause their own set of physical and mental health problems. So let's put guilt and diets aside. But we should recognize that our indoor office-based lifestyles combined with too much processed and fast food is making us unwell. Almost 20% of Malaysians have diabetes, almost 40% have high blood cholesterol, and over half of us are considered overweight or obese. Obesity in children is also rising. Our daily diets should be easy to follow, easy to sustain, and have that flexibility to be festive and yet able to reset back into healthy goals. Here are some tips based on basic science to help you navigate our celebration of food. The human body requires 6 types of nutrients: water, carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins, and minerals. Carbohydrates, proteins, and fats are macronutrients which provide energy for our bodies. Vitamins and minerals are micronutrients which help our bodies with specific functions like keeping our skin and hair healthy. Given our national problem with diabetes and weight gain, let's take a closer look at carbohydrates and how they work. Carbs are digested by our gut and absorbed as simple sugars in our bloodstream. In response, our pancreas produces insulin, a metabolic hormone which tells the cells in our body to store the sugars, which keeps the sugar in our blood at a stable level. Our cells then use this sugar to produce energy molecules. Any excess sugars are converted into fat. Carbs can be found in grains, vegetables, and fruits, and can range from simple sugars to more complex carbohydrates. Simple carbs like sweetened drinks, desserts, and starchy meals lead to a quick release of sugars and a short burst of energy. But this spike in blood sugar levels creates a proportional insulin response, rapidly bringing down your sugar levels to below meal levels. That feeling of dizziness, shakes, tiredness, and hunger pangs 2 hours after that starchy, sugary meal is your body going through hypoglycemia, instinctively causing us to reach out for more carbs to boost energy levels. This leads to a cycle of carb-rich food, high insulin, carb-rich food, etc. Persistently high sugar loading into our bloodstream will cause the cells to persistently take up glucose. If this is left unchecked, the risk of type 2 diabetes increases as cells become resistant to insulin. High-fiber foods such as whole grain are complex carbs which take longer to digest, releasing sugar at a slower rate whilst helping us to feel full. This is the basis of the glycemic index, a list of foods categorized according to their glycemic load, or in other words, how much each food item will raise your blood sugar levels after eating it. Glucose has a GI of 100. Sweet starchy food such as white rice and cereals have high GIs, usually over 70, whereas high fiber food such as nuts and green vegetables have lower GIs, under 50. The low GI diet was first created to help diabetic patients get their blood sugar under control by encouraging a diet of mostly low GI foods. The low GI diet can also be used for weight loss, like many similar diets, keto, low-carb, intermittent fasting, which are all based on the premise of changing our eating habits to bring our insulin under control and avoid extreme sugar highs and lows. Just remember, any major changes in diet should be done in consultation with a doctor or dietitian. Now, it doesn't generate headlines because it's been the same for years, but the oldest advice in this case still stands. The best way to eat healthy, that is, to meet your energy and micronutrient requirements, is to eat a variety of healthy and nutritious food. That means eating lots of whole fresh foods like whole grains, colorful fruits and vegetables, lean meats and fish, nuts, seeds and dairy or dairy alternatives, and make water your number one drink. Here's the teacher bit. Avoid or really cut down food and drinks with added salt and sugar, saturated fats like cookies, crisps, processed meats and fried foods. And if you drink alcohol, stick to recommended guidelines of 1 to 2 units per day. However, just cutting back may not solve the hunger pangs and cravings. Some believe that a no-carb diet for 2 weeks can get insulin under control, acting as a physical reset, which allows us to ease into healthy eating after that. The Harvard School of Public Health has developed this healthy eating plate as an easy way to visualize what an ideal plate of food should look like. Added bonus, move your body every day, whether that's a full-on workout or just a walk around the neighborhood. Maybe you already know all of this, but you still can't resist that donut. It's normal, and it's okay. A donut won't kill you, and banning certain foods only ensures you'll want them even more. Similarly, the anxiety and self-hatred that comes from diet culture is actually counterproductive. So be kind to yourself as you start to pay more attention to the foods you eat, and think about the future that you want. There'll be good days and bad, busy seasons and holidays. So try to take it one meal at a time.